Thank you. I'm Mr. Liner, and welcome to Mr. Liner's Math Extravaganza. In today's episode, we're going to learn how to divide fractions. Now, dividing fractions sounds a lot harder than it actually is. Let's take a look at some rules to help us out with that. Our rules for dividing fractions. Our first step is to bring down the first fraction in the problem. Step 2 is to change the division to multiplication. Step 3 is to recip and flip the second fraction. We're going to show you what that actually means. Number 4 is to cross cancel if we can, and then multiply our fractions. And lastly, simplify our fractions or mixed numbers. Let's take a look at what reciprocal means. When we look at a reciprocal, if I have the fraction 3/4, the reciprocal is 4/3. Basically, we like to say recip and flip. We take our fraction and we reciprocate it and we kind of flip it upside down so that the 3 and the 4 switch spots to become 4/3. A couple other examples. A 2/5, which is going to equal 5/2. And if I have 7, which a whole number is 7/1, will equal 1/7. And that's how you use the reciprocal. Let's take a look at our practice problem. If I have 2/5 divided by 2/3, I have to decide how am I going to attack this problem. We will use the method we just talked about. We're going to follow each one of those 5 steps that we had up on the board. My first step is to bring my problem down. 2/5 stays the same. My next step was to change the division sign into a, you got it, multiplication sign. Then I have to recip the second number. So this becomes 3/2. Now, I noticed I can cross cancel with the 2 and 2. This becomes a 1. This becomes a 1. Now I multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5. I cannot simplify my answer. So 2/5 divided by 2/3 becomes 3/5. Again, I just followed each one of the steps up on that problem, followed my rules for dividing fractions, and I was able to get to my answer. Alright, here comes that time. I would like you to get out your paper, get out your pencil. And I'd like you to try this fraction right up here. 3/5 divided by 2/5. Go ahead, pause that video, and we'll compare our answers. Okay, let's take a look. Your first step, you should have brought down 3/5. My second step, change the division to multiplication. My third step, flip and recip to become 5/2. Now, I like to make my life a lot easier. I can cross cancel. I know that 5 and 5 go into each other one time. 5 goes into 5 one time. 3 times 1 becomes 3. 1 times 2 becomes 2. I have a mixed number. I have an improper fraction. So what you need to do is to turn it into a mixed number. 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over, and the denominator remains the same. So 3/5 divided by 2/5 becomes 1.5. If you got that right, congratulations. If you struggle with this, go back, check your rules for these problems, try some practice problems so that you are able to master these concepts. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mr. Liner's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.